All right. Hi again, and welcome back to the second day of our social media series. As you guys can see, we will be covering Instagram and TikTok today. For each of these applications, we will be covering the following topics: what it is, what are the requirements when creating an account, what are the advantages and appeal of using the application, what are the disadvantages, customizing your privacy settings, and different ways of monitoring activity on these apps. So first, we're going to look at Instagram. Instagram is a free social networking app where users can share pictures, short videos, and can follow other users and send each other messages. So this app is actually owned by Facebook, and it was made known by its eye-catching format. So users can post photos from their phone's photo library, or they can capture images and 60-second videos on the spot and post those. Along with those posts, users can tag other users in their content and add captions, hashtags, or even their location. A new feature was introduced at the end of June 2018, and that was called IGTV. This allows users to post and view videos that are up to 1 hour in length, so they no longer have that 60-second limit. So now that we know a little bit more about Instagram, let's go ahead and look at how to create an account. Before creating an account, since we're going to be looking at the mobile app, first we're going to need to download, install, and open Instagram on our devices. So depending on whether you have an Android or an Apple phone, you may see the following options. They might say it a little differently. For Androids, you'll see the options to sign up with email or phone number. And then for the iPhone, you'll just get an option to create a new account. So once you click on the corresponding one, you'll need to enter the following information to create your account. So you'll need to enter an email address or a phone number, first and last name, the desired username you want, and you do have to check for availability. So sometimes the username that we want is already being used by someone else, so we'll have to modify it a little bit. So you will get a chance to create your username, and then you will get a chance to create a password as well. To finish your account, users will be sent a code to their email or as a text message, whether you signed up with your email or phone, right? So you'll get the message to the corresponding method, and then you will have to enter that code for that account verification. Once all of that is done, your account will be ready to use. So, per the terms of service, for Instagram, individuals must be 13 or older to create an account. However, I do want to point out that there is no age verification. So now that we've created an account, let's see what the advantages and the appeal of the app are. So the advantages and appeal of having an Instagram account are the fact that the free social networking that comes along with it. There is an extremely diverse population on Instagram, so that just means that there is a wide variety of user ages and user backgrounds, so all over the world basically. The app promotes and supports users' creativity through multiple media types. There are multiple features available, such as direct messaging, so DMs, the ability to post stories, the use of IGTV, customizing privacy and security settings, and much more. And finally, their Instagram allows users to connect up to 5 accounts to one primary one. So that means if I create an account with my email address or phone number, I can connect up to 5 more for my, and be, say, like the primary one that overlooks the other 4 or 5. Instagram's appeal does come from the idea of being able to share the small things in life. So here on Instagram, users can showcase their talents and interests and then find other people who share those interests. It really is an amazing place for artistic expression. So that's great. That is absolutely great about this app. Now that we've seen some of the great stuff, let's look at some of the not so great. So Instagram, similar to some other applications like Facebook, initial Instagram profiles are public by default, which means that everyone that's on the platform can see all of your activity, what you're posting, what you're sharing, things like that. That does not include the information that you use to create the account. An upside to that is that that setting can be changed, so it's not all bad, but it is one of those kind of red flag moments where you're like, okay, well, I don't want everyone to be seeing all of my stuff, so I need to go in and change that. Also, Instagram asks its users to be over 13 years old. However, anyone can create an account, and because there is no age verification, they can enter a birthday or simply, I don't even think it asks for a birth date. There is no birth date you need to enter to create your account. So you can just say, hey, click this button to indicate that you're over a certain age, and you'll be able to create the account, no problem. So age verification, there's no age verification for Instagram, so anyone can be on there saying that they are 13 or over. If you notice, I did add the multiple accounts to both the advantages and the disadvantages because I feel like it can go both ways. Parents can create an account and connect multiple accounts, for example, the accounts of their kids, and monitor their activity through that feature. However, that feature is available to all users. So that means kids can also use this feature to create multiple accounts for themselves. So hopefully everyone has heard here the terms Finsta and Rinsta. They do refer to second or third accounts that distinguish fake accounts and real accounts. So that fake account, or a Finsta, those are usually used to pass parent checks. Okay? While the real account, or their Rinsta, is where they are really active with friends and other users. So they're going to have two. This fake one is the one they're going to show, say, for example, my sister is 13, 14. If I were to go and ask her about her account, she'd probably show me her Finsta, where there's nothing inappropriate going on over here. She isn't posting anything that I would personally say something about. However, she's going to have her Rinsta, and this is where all her real activity, all of her friends are going to be connected over here. This is where she's going to be posting. This is where she's going to be engaging with other users. Okay, so that's kind of the difference between those, and that's really something really important to pay attention to. To be able to see if your kid has more than one account, you will need access to their phone. You'll have to tap on the person icon and the arrow that comes up next to that username. So any connected accounts will be shown in a pop-up at the bottom of the screen. There is an alternate option to that. They can stay logged into their account, or accounts if you have multiple children, on a parent's device. So the parent can see their activity and their account. And on this list, we can also see that there can be exposure to inappropriate content, hate pages, and many different societal pressures might also be present on Instagram. Negative comments, erroneous ideas, and set pressures can contribute to the need for perfection or an elevated social status, and that is actually measured by the number of followers that someone has. So, and added on to that, We can see also that there are body image and self-esteem issues emerging from, that those societal pressures. There is a commonly used phrase that says, do it for the gram, right? This do it for the gram is how users could be motivated to do things that they normally wouldn't do to get more of those likes or to get more followers. Situations can easily get out of hand when users and kids mainly are doing things for the gram. Okay, we've looked up some of the good, we've looked up some of the not so good. Now let's continue on to our privacy settings and how to customize our user experience on Instagram. Okay, so we did just discuss how the initial profiles are public by default. To change to a private profile, users will need to go to the icon of a person, and so you'll see that on screen. So you'll find that avatar or that icon. Okay, and then it's pointed out in red, and then your profile will show like the image on the slide. So from that screen, the icon of the 3 stacked lines will appear at the top right hand side. Click there to have that pop-up menu appear. From the menu, we're going to select Settings, then Privacy, then Account Privacy. And you'll be able to toggle on or off the option for a private account. We do recommend everyone goes in and customizes this to be toggled on, okay? Just for a safe user experience. Some other areas that we recommend you take a look at is the limiting or restricting activity for comments, resharing stories, and tag approvals. So comments, you can block comments from specific users. You can hide offensive comments by adding in keywords to search for. And you can also, well, that's actually the manual filter. So you can toggle on the manual filter, and that's where you can add in specific words or phrases, and Instagram will filter everything containing those that you have added. Okay, so that's definitely a great feature. Resharing stories, you just want to make sure that you know exactly who can and can't reshare your story. If I post something to my Instagram story, I want to know that either other people can't take my post and repost it on their stories, or that only certain people are able to view it, right? So that's a good way to control that. And then those tag approvals, of course, customize the tag approval to prevent others from adding pictures of you without your knowledge beforehand, or to hide any photos or videos from displaying on your feed. So if you don't want them to get out, please go in and customize that setting. You can also restrict accounts. So this is just to protect yourself from any unwanted interactions. You can review comments made, and you can hide your activity status. That way, people won't, you go online and everyone is notified that all of a sudden you're online. Right? If you don't want that, go in and customize your settings. And then the last thing on here is blocking accounts. So I do want to just point this out really quickly. To block an account, users will need to go to that person's profile, find the ... icon next to their username, and then we're going to select and confirm the block option. Any blocked account won't be able to find your profile, won't be able to see your post or your story on Instagram. Okay, so that's just a way of minimizing interactions with, an account that you don't want to have anything to do with. Okay, so that's a great option. I don't want to see this content, so I'm just going to block that user and problem solved. All right, so on screen, I do want you guys to take a look. There is the Instagram Help Center. This is where users can find more information on how to use Instagram, how to manage the account, if you need any troubleshooting options or login help, and of course, a privacy and safety center. This is a great tool to have when looking into more specific features that the app offers, or if we're going to go in and say, personalize a little bit more in depth all of those customizations for a safe experience, that Privacy and Safety Center is the place to go. Okay, so now that we've covered Instagram, and I know that was kind of fast, so if you guys have any questions, please enter them in the chat and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. Now we're going to move on to TikTok, which seems like it blew up overnight, right? TikTok is a social media app that allows users to watch, create, and share short 1-minute videos on their platform. Some of the features in TikTok are recording, trimming, editing, using filters, transitions, effects, and uploading material to the platform, and then using all of those tools to create a video. Users can also record sound clips, use others' sound clips on the app, or instead use background music in their videos. This app was actually already around, and it was previously known as Musical.ly. However, now they've kind of revamped it, and now it's called TikTok. And I do believe it's here to stay, even among rumors of the application's ban in the US. Okay, now we're going to look at how to create an account. So once again, we're looking at the mobile version of this. So before trying to create an account, first we're going to need to download, install, and open TikTok on our device. New users will see the option to sign up by using a phone or email, your Facebook account, your Google account, or an Apple account, such as that first image on screen. Other information that you need to include if you are not using one of those Facebook, Google, or Apple options. So if you're not going to use any of that, you will need to enter a phone number or an email, and then a birth date. And the users will need to create a username and a password. The new account will need to be confirmed, just like Instagram, before users can log in and begin using the app for the first time. If users that are trying to sign up, if they are under 13 and the app calculates their age to under 13, they will be allowed to create an account. However, their activity will be limited on the app. Okay, so that's kind of nice to know that they have a curated version for 13-year-olds. Okay, now let's take a look at the advantages and appeal of having a TikTok account. So TikTok makes it super easy to be connected socially, and it promotes creativity for all of its users. Whether you are posting content or you are just watching the short clips on there. There are privacy and safety features available on the app. So user accounts can restrict content, block search terms, activate the family safety mode, and use the digital well-being features to help limit the amount of time that we spend on the app. And trust me, can that be a lot? I know firsthand. So accounts for users that are 13 and under are limited, like we mentioned. A couple of ways or a couple limitations that are set for 13 and under accounts are the search function. They cannot use a search function. They cannot comment on videos. They can't post. And users under 13 can only access curated, clean videos filtered by the application itself. These limits were set in place in 2019 when developers decided to create a new section specifically for the 13 and under crowd. This app is also extremely appealing because of the combination of features that are found in separate applications. So for example, YouTube's connectivity, you can connect with people all over the world. right? Vine's short shareable clips that are about 60 seconds long doesn't seem like too much, but when you sit there for 3 hours, you're like, whoa. And Dub Smash's lip syncing. So this means that users can lip sync to sounds that are originally created and shared by other users or music or anything like that. Those are just a couple of features, and there are plenty more available on the app. So if you're curious, check it out. You don't need an account to begin viewing. However, be careful. An account is not necessary, like I said, to view the content of the app. I do like that feature. That is a big, I guess it's a big appeal for me because that's just one less username and password that I have to remember, right? I don't need an account. I can just get on the app and begin scrolling, right? Also, I do want to point out that users on TikTok and their rapid rate of success is another very appealing thing to today's youth. Getting famous on TikTok or becoming influencers is a growing interest among kids. So even though they might not fully understand what it means to become famous, kids could be motivated to do things that they normally wouldn't do for those likes or the reshares and to get more followers. I do want to recommend for parents to encourage and model safe behaviors. Make sure to set limits on the type of information and content being shared or viewed by your child or children. All right, that was some of the good. Now let's look at some of the not so good. With every one of these apps, it seems like it's a pretty balanced scale. So the first concern that I do see or that I ran across when researching this was that once again, on this app, like many others, initial accounts are public by default. Even the accounts for users that are under 13. Okay? There is no age verification for the users. That just means that a 13-year-old can create an account, enter a fake birthday, and get full access to the application instead of the more appropriate version for them. TikTok rewards are given to users by having them invite other friends to download and use the app. The users who refer those friends will have the opportunity to earn points for coupons from brands like Sephora and Uber, to name two of the big ones. So this I guess this reward is it's almost like cashback options on credit cards, right? It's a little scary for me because I'm not gonna lie, it's a little scary. Credit cards get out of hand easily, and I feel like this can too. It is also possible to spend real money by adding virtual coins to an online wallet on the app. That again is another red flag for me. Anything that's asking me for my credit card number or my debit card number or anything that has to do with my my livelihood, red flag. So all users do have access to popular sound clips and music uploaded by other users. Here's the thing though, those are not always appropriate, right? So not only will all users have access, sometimes those sound clips come along with certain dances or become the background music for certain trends that, once again, are not always age appropriate. Okay? And that's this is targeting a little more the 13 and under accounts. That 13-year-olds or or teens that are on there that have full access to the app, that this is for them, right? Just keep an eye out for that. Finally, there have been some privacy issues with the app before. This is a concern because the app will ask for permission to access your phone's information. And for example, say your phone's contacts to go find your friends, the camera to be able to shoot all those videos and record all of that content, right? You're going to need a camera for that. And other downloaded applications. So it will ask for access to all of that. So it's very important to be aware of what the app is allowed or granted access to. Okay, now let's look at those privacy settings and how to customize for our safe user experience. experience. First off, let's start by covering how to make an account private. So first we're going to click on the ... icon that's located at the top right-hand side of the screen. We're going to select privacy and safety to see the option highlighted in red on screen. So users will need to toggle on the private account setting, and then that will allow only the users that you approve to follow you and view your content and what you are liking on the app. Existing followers won't be affected, so if you're already on TikTok and you already have a follower base and they've already seen some of your content, everyone up to the point where you make your account private won't be affected by the change. So it's not going to go back and change all of that. It'll just be from that point forward. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, other customizable options can also be found under the privacy and safety setting or section. One of these is customizing who can see your profile and content. One of these is, yes. So the options for that are actually everyone, friends, or no one. So those are your three choices. Everyone, so public, just your friends, the people you follow and who follow you back, or no one, so just yourself. Default settings to pay attention to are whether you want the app to suggest your account to other users. By default, that is on. Okay, so that means your account will pop up for other people, like, hey, you might want to check this guy out. It seems you guys have similar interests or similar likes. Okay, so the app itself will be suggesting your account to other people. You also want to take a look at whether you allow your uploaded videos to be downloaded by others. And this means downloaded like off the application and onto their phone. You will have no control over what happens to that recording. And that setting, red flag, by default is on. So by default, the app allows other people to download your videos. We also going to look at who can send you direct messages or DMs. By default, it's friends on the app. So that's kind of nice. Only the people that you have friended, hopefully it's people you actually know, only the people you have friended on the app can send you direct messages. The next one we're going to look at is who can do it with your videos. So who can use your video and do kind of like a reaction or film alongside it with you, okay? That by default is everyone. Who can react to your content? By default, everyone. Who can view your liked videos? By default is only you. So this is everything that you're watching and you're liking, you're giving, the little hearts to, or you're giving that thumbs up to. By default, only you can see that. And that should stay that way. And then lastly on here is who can comment on your videos. Once again, by default, it is everyone. Okay, so I do encourage everyone to go in and just make sure that these controls are customized to maximize safety and just make sure that everything on there is the way you want it to be and not just the default settings. Users can also customize the comment filters to automatically hide comments that may be spam or offensive from being shown. The feature that filters keywords can be toggled on to automatically hide those comments with specific words from being shown as well. And then the last option on the screen that you can see, I know it's a little squished, but at the very, very bottom, you can see where it says blocked accounts. That section is where users can see all the accounts that they have already blocked, in case they change their mind. Okay, and then for extra help with using or managing a TikTok account, I do encourage everyone to visit the TikTok Help Center. It is highlighted in red on screen, and that is support.tiktok.com. And you can find more detailed information, and it can be found in multiple languages. So I thought that was great. They offer their say that privacy and safety section, which my eyes go directly to, in multiple languages. And then lastly, I do want to share with everyone a couple different ways of monitoring activity on these apps. So some options that parents have for monitoring activity on social media apps is first and foremost, you can ask your kids to give you a walkthrough of their account and of course share their username and their password. So these account walkthroughs can and should be regular occurrences. Parents can create their own account on the application and then friend or follow, whatever, the app is calling it. Follow their kids' accounts to make sure you can keep an eye on what they're posting. So that also gives you a different perspective as you are kind of someone else seeing their profile. And also having random check-ins can also be useful. Those random check-ins really help with, the fact that if your kid knows that that scheduled walkthrough is coming, they might go in there and clean up their account, clean up those videos they've been watching so that you don't see it. We don't want that, right? We want you to see exactly what it is they're doing, exactly what it is they're posting. So having those random check-ins can be very useful because it will not give them time to go in and clean that up. And finally, of course, parents can use third-party monitoring apps. We have 3 examples for you today. The first one is Bark. Bark monitors text messages, emails, and 30-plus social networks for perceived safety concerns. Net Nanny blocks apps, filters content, and tracks screen time, and there's a lot more that they do. This is just kind of a little sneak peek, right? There's a lot more that these third-party monitoring apps do, but we just want to give you 3 examples of ones that have gotten high ratings on parent blogs and the Common Sense Media website. The last one is Family Time, and that one also manages screen time, blocks applications on your kid's phone, and keeps track of their whereabouts. So you've got a GPS on them at all times. So I do want to make sure that everybody knows these applications are not free. They are depending on if it's a monthly subscription, if it's a yearly subscription, and then the different, I guess, the more coverage that you get, the more protection that you sign up for, it might be a little pricier. But like I said, these are applications that got really good reviews, and we just wanted to make sure that you have as much information as possible moving forward. It really is up to parents to make sure that their kids are safe and protected if they are being allowed on social media apps. These are not the only options out there. So because each family dynamic is different, these options that we presented here today may or may not work for everyone. I do want to encourage everyone to explore other options or creatively come up with new ones that you feel will work best for your whole family. And with that, we're actually going to wrap up the presentation for today. I know that was a lot of information, but hopefully you can see that safety on social media applications is our #1 priority for MCS students. We would now like to share important resources with you, and then we're going to take a couple of questions. The last slide of this presentation will contain our contact information for further parent assistance. Okay, for our class schedules and much more, you can go to the Modesto City Schools website and then click on the Parent and Student Help Centers. Please take time to explore the Parent and Student Help Centers, as one is specifically for parents, the other is specifically for students. These sites provide how-to videos and trainings for our most used applications. And there's also so much more on there to explore when you're looking for parent and student help and support. So once you click on the Parent and Student Help Center link, if you scroll to about the middle of the page, you'll find these parent tools. Here, located here are the guides and how-to videos for PowerSchool, GoSchool Messenger, and Schoology. So if you don't already know, these are the 3 main apps that we're using during distance learning. Okay, and once again, once we've clicked on that Parent and Student Help Centers, you will come to this web page. Then you can click on the training calendar, and it will take you to all of our upcoming virtual classes. So after clicking on the training calendar, it will bring you to this calendar where you can see Monday has been highlighted. In addition, here you'll find all of our scheduled parent classes, and by clicking on any of those links in the calendar, you'll be able to click on there and then find the link that will bring you directly to this meeting. Please feel free to explore this webpage as well. Our Department of Student, Parent, and Community Support will post all of our upcoming parent classes on this page. Okay, and then I would like to share with everyone our upcoming classes. So today was actually day 2 of our 3-day social media series. We will be continuing or wrapping up this series by covering Snapchat tomorrow, the 16th of December, and that class is scheduled to begin at 5:30 p.m. After that, I'm glad to say that winter break will be scheduled for December 22nd and will end on January 8th. We will be welcoming everyone back on was it January 11th, right? And then on January 27th, you can see that we're going to be having a self-care class, and we're going to be discussing, what self-care looks like and different ways to maintain our personal well-being. That class is scheduled to begin at 2:30 p.m., so don't miss it, okay? And of course, there's no need to write this information down. All of this information that we're sharing with you here will be on our training calendar. And then at this time, we have come to our questions and answers, our Q&A. So I will take a couple questions and I will do my very best to answer them as efficiently as possible. So if you haven't already, please type your questions into the chat, or you can click on the raised hand icon to have a turn to ask your question. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, Cynthia. Thank you so much for all that information. At this moment, we do not have any questions, but like you said, we can wait a moment or two and see if we can get any parents to ask us any questions if they have any. All right, Cynthia. Well, I don't see any questions, so I'll give it back to you.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so finally, as we promised, here you can find our department contact information. Please feel free to contact us for any questions you might have or any questions that were not answered during this presentation. Also, don't forget to fill out the survey to give us feedback and share with us your recommendations for future parent classes and presentation topics. The survey link will be posted in the chat. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us today. Goodbye, take care, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow.